It's the men's singles final on Rod Laver Arena. Please welcome Australian Open third seed, Stefanos Tsitsipas. And their opponent, Novak Djokovic.
I'm going to ask you, Brad, Tsitsipas likes to be the philosopher, doesn't he? But more importantly today, can he be the alchemist? Can he today make that rare transformation from being contender material into that of a champion?
I mean, it's a tough call. You're up against the player that ultimately is going to be, in my opinion, the greatest player in the history of our sport on a court where he just doesn't lose. It doesn't seem like he's almost capable of losing on this court, no matter what happens. I mean, I think back to 2 years ago in the match against Taylor Fritz when he looked like he might need a stretcher to get off the court, and he still found a way to win the tournament that year. We've seen a similar situation with this year with the leg injury, and somehow as the tournament's progressed, he's gotten better and better and better. And I imagine his comfort level in this situation is going to be well above Steph's as they walk out and stand next to the trophy and you see what you're playing for and a piece of history.
Can we start with a photo
It's just
this way,
a tough ask
one with
for
Novak and one without
Tsitsipas.
him. If you stand here.
It's a Norman Brooks trophy.
And then one with only you guys. You come with me.
First handed, of course, to Fred Perry.
Thank you. So same conditions. Stefanos, you will be blue for the towel. Okay, you will be red for the towel.
Red.
Red?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Any questions? Novak?
Novak chose Novak.
Serve? Great match. Sure. Well done.
The mascot's name Novak as the players jog back to the baseline. And the one thing I also want to just touch on quickly, I know we're going to get into the bios just now, the crowd, it could be significant. One of the reasons that Steph got close in Paris was he hit a forehand at 2-all in the second set, having been absolutely dominated, threw his arms up in the air, got the crowd involved. It rattled Novak for a while, and the similar thing happened in Turin. So I'm going to be interested to see whether Steph goes down that route where he tries to engage the Greek fans here early to see whether he can rattle Novak's cage. Of course, he has played a lot of his major finals with the entirety at times of the stadium behind him, and he's been able to handle that pretty well. But it was something that Steph brought into his last couple of meetings. As I say, we take a little wander through their bios. And of course, both of them playing for the world #1 spot as well. Steph sitting at 4 coming into this particular tournament right now. 9 titles. Of course, he's never won a title outside of Europe as well, Fitzy.
Yeah, interesting, but he's done well here. 3 semi-finals prior to this, and these conditions obviously suit him. He likes the environment, and he does have an incredible amount of support here in Melbourne. So he's not without a chance, is he? And what an athlete the young Greek is. He's a beautiful athlete to watch. He covers the court, you know, not like a Greek god yet,
3 minutes.
but pretty darn well.
We are Stefanos Tsitsipas, the 24-year-old from Athens, Greece, who is an outstanding
Novak sitting in a live ranking of #2, of course, relatively significant in the world of tennis, as if he goes back to the world #1 spot, not because he hasn't been there before, as we just take a little look through their head-to-head. 10-2, everybody knows by now, of course, that Novak has won their last 9. But the fact if he does go back to world #1, of course, that will give him his 374th week once that happens. And he will be closing in on Steffi Graf's record of 377 to have the most weeks out of any male or female player as the world #1. This has been Steph's route through. Of course, was pushed hard in the match against Jannik Sinner, but once again, Brad responded well in that 5th set.
Yeah, I mean, that match was a massive test. I think if Sinner had won that match, we might be seeing him here right now. I think that match was such a big match for either of those guys to get through, and Steph really stepped things up in the 5th set and was able to battle through that match and get himself to the next round, which led to this opportunity.
As for Novak, yet to win a major without dropping a set, so he won't be too concerned about what has happened in round 2. He will be much more happy with how things have gone in the last few rounds for him. Almost as perfect as he's ever been. And of course, the last time he lost it, Wei Chung back in 2018. He is Mr. Invincible. Eduardo is PR agent there on the right of your picture. And Elena, of course, alongside. They have looked after Novak since 2009 when he worked for Sergio Tacchini. Goran, who's done a lovely job navigating things with Novak on his own.
30 seconds.
Marian Vida around.
Ladies and gentlemen, Novak Djokovic won the toss and chose to
Legends
serve.
on the court and most definitely off it as well. These players so often you feel playing on the shoulders of the greats of the past. Rod Laver, arguably the greatest of them all.
End of warm-up.
And of course the night is special, and the numbers also validate the greatness of somebody like Novak. Looking for his 22nd Grand Slam title to tie up Rafa. He has the most Masters 1000 titles. He has the most male weeks at #1. Tsitsipas searching for something for the very first time. And he's going to have to find something different if he is going to find a way past this man in the Melbourne final.
First set. Novak Djokovic to serve.